Hey everyone, welcome back to Those Drapers Abroad. I thought we would do something a bit different for this video to give you a bit of an idea about what life in Kampala is like. So I'm going to show you what my journey to work looks like. Today I'm borrowing a friend's motorbike to get out to the airfield, and this is a Bajaj BM150. It's actually made in India, and as you'll see in this video there are lots of these in Kampala. The locals call them boda bodas. So boda bodas are actually cheap kind of taxis. People use them to get around Kampala, but they also use them to transport lots of different things. So it's not uncommon to see a sofa or a bed or even 3 or 4 people being carried around on the back of a boda. So keep your eyes open and let's see what we can see being carried around on the back of one of these motorbikes today. As you'll see quite quickly on this journey, the roads in Kampala aren't always the best, and lots of the roads have really big potholes in, so you'll see me trying to dodge around the potholes while I try and avoid boda bodas and other traffic on the road. My journey to work this morning is going to take around 25 minutes, and I think I'm going to leave this video unedited, so it might be a bit of a long video, but hopefully it will give you a really good idea of what the sights and sounds of Kampala are like. At the moment it's around 7:15 in the morning, and as you can see the sun's only just rising. The sun rises really quickly here in Kampala, so you can look out the window 1 minute and it's really dark, and then you look out again 15 or 20 minutes later and it's just like this, really light. So it looks like it's going to be another beautiful day here in Kampala today. At the moment it's about 24 degrees C. The temperature's probably going to rise to, like the late 20s or early 30s later in the day, so it's going to be a pretty nice day. That's definitely one of the bonuses of living in this part of the world. The weather is pretty much always great. Right, looks like the traffic lights aren't working again today, so we're going to make sure it's clear and keep going. As you can see, it's early in the morning. People are already up and about making their way to work. Kampala is a capital city, so it's a really good idea to try and get to work as early as you can before the traffic gets really bad. Unfortunately, Kampala rush hour traffic is a pretty crazy place to be, with lots and lots of traffic, so it pays to try and get where you want to go as early as you can in the morning. So we're just coming up on one of the more chaotic junctions that I have to navigate on my ride to work, and as you'll see there isn't really any rules about who has right of way here in Uganda. You basically arrive at the junction and gently try and push your way through until you get to the other side. Somehow it seems to work and no one really gets too upset, but to people from the West like us it just looks like madness, until you get used to it, that is. Another bit of road that just seems to be eroding away here. Now as we get to this next junction, you're going to see a lot of white minibuses with blue squares down the sides. The locals call these buses matatus, and they're basically taxis that you can jump on and off of to get around town. This junction is one of their main pick up and drop off points, so it's always pretty crazy in the morning. So we're now joining one of the main roads in and out of Kampala. This is Entebbe Road, and it takes you right into the centre of Kampala, but we're going to take a left here and go down towards Entebbe, which is where the main international airport is. Entebbe is about an hour's drive south of Kampala, but we're heading to a place called Kajansi, which is just on the outskirts of Kampala. The matatu's a bit of a cheaper way of getting somewhere rather than saying jumping on a boda, but they're not as quick and they do get stuck in all the traffic that we get here in Kampala. You have to be quite careful when you're following a matatu on a motorbike, because if someone hails them from the side of the road, they'll just pull straight to the side without looking. So you have to be really careful how close you get to them. Just passing one of the many mosques we have in town on the left now, and one of the big shopping malls as well. I think this one's called Freedom City Mall. This next junction is another crazy junction where you have to be a little bit careful about how you approach it. There aren't any traffic lights for the traffic that joins from the left, and that traffic's allowed to just drive straight across two dual carriageways to get to where it's going. So we have to gently push through and keep a lookout on the left. That was pretty smooth today. So we're starting to pick up a little bit of speed now as we head down the road towards Kajansi. It always amazes me how quiet this road is at this time in the morning. If you come down this road at 10 PM at night, the whole road is absolutely buzzing with people and there's loads of cars around. It seems that Ugandans really love to come out at night and meet people and get their shopping done. I've been down here a few times at say 10-11 o'clock at night to go to the airport, and I couldn't believe how busy it was. But it's nice and quiet now, so it's good for getting to work. So now we're coming up to Zana roundabout, which is quite an interesting place actually, because this is where the local police try and catch any boda drivers that don't have a license. Basically, they stop the traffic at the roundabout, which forces all the motorbikes to try and run up the sides of the traffic. And just as they get to the roundabout, the police officers jump out and grab the boda riders and ask them to see their license. Obviously, if they don't have a license, they get their motorbike confiscated. Let's see if anyone's got caught today. Oh, yep, there's one. We're stuck behind a learner driver now. So on the left here you can see lots of potted plants and trees. This is the Kampala equivalent of like a garden centre. You can stop by the side of the road and pick up any plants or trees that you might need for your garden. The next little bit, you're probably going to see lots of bodders on the left hand side of the road, sometimes going up the inside to overtake. Now, although this wouldn't be allowed back in the UK, all drivers here pretty much expect motorbikes to come up on the inside because that's normally where they are on the road. So it's actually safer for us to go up the inside than it would be to try and overtake them in the middle of the road, just because cars and matatus are expecting you to be there. Right, not far to go now, and we'll soon be entering Kajansi, which is where the airfield is located. Guy going the wrong way up the road. And a nice low emissions pickup truck there. And here we are. This is Kajansi town, and we're just coming up on the turning that we need to take to get to the airfield on the left now. So this is where the scenery and the feel of the place changes quite a lot now. This part of Kajansi feels much more like driving through a village out in the countryside of Uganda. That's the end of all the nicely paved roads, and the rest of our journey is going to be on this very dusty dirt road. All the small buildings that you can see along the side of the road are actually shops that people buy and sell different things from. You might see some fruit and veg and some hardware supplies. You can pretty much get everything from these little shops. As you can see, it's the dry season at the moment, so there is lots of dust in the air. It's amazing just how red the Ugandan soil is. So by the time I get to work, I'm probably going to have a nice covering of red dust all over me and the motorbike. On the left now, we've got a local brick factory where they make lots of bricks for the local building trade. Right, so this is the final stretch now through the village that's just located right next to the airfield. I always think that driving down this road gives you a real feel for what a proper Ugandan village feels like. It just feels like you've driven out into the middle of Uganda. It really feels exactly the same driving through this bit on my way to work. A few more potholes to dodge. The road here is pretty bad, so you have to pick the best line around the worst of the potholes and the gullies. And there is the road sign for MAF Uganda on the corner. We're just approaching the airfield now. Right, just need to get through the security checkpoint. And welcome to Kajansi Airfield. As we set off here, there is the MAF office on the right, and a little bit further around there's the hangar that I work in. Well, I hope you liked this video and it gave you a little bit of an insight into what life here in Uganda is actually like. Until next time, remember to like, follow and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.